Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to The Council. After a particularly exciting episode last week, with our review with Fatman directors Ian and Esham Nelms, we are returning to our regular format, and we have some incredible topics to get back to you with. But first, before we get into all that exciting stuff, let's welcome back our hosts. So everyone say hello to Natalia.
I'm first! Thank you.
Say hello to Sohail. Sohail,
You're
is
muted,
he
buddy.
gone?
Boomer moment, that's me. Hello. And
Hello,
Natalia was
Sohail.
first last week, so just saying.
Oh, well, wait, were you last week then?
No, I'm pretty sure
2 weeks ago.
Liam was first last week. Yeah.
Off to a great start, everyone.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, those directors called us organized. I thought that was hilarious. Everyone say hello to Yousef.
Hello. I like that you did the brown people first. I appreciate that.
I didn't even notice, but sure. Say hello to Antony.
Hi, everyone.
Say hello to Yousef.
Hello, guys.
And finally, because he's the most mean to me, say hello to Liam.
Hello, it's me, the gay one. He said me last because he's homophobic and a twat.
Yes. Also joining us is this week's very special guest, George Alexander. You may know him from his incredibly popular YouTube page that completely dwarfs our subscriber count. George, it's great to have you with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Don't say that because most of the people don't read. The analytics are awful, so don't worry about it. They're never there. I'm George, and yeah, you might know me from crying and screaming while watching TV shows on YouTube. Hi, everyone.
George, that is the only way to watch movies on TV.
Exactly.
Today, yeah, he has a point, everyone. You should check out his videos. Today, our topics will be a final look back at 2020 and a discussion of our favorite films of that year. We also have a look forward at 2021, in particular, our most anticipated horror releases of this year. Very excited about that. And we will also review Marvel's very first TV series. Sorry, Jeff Loeb. WandaVision. And finally, we have a game that will be focused on incredibly difficult Oscar trivia done by me. With all them nasty pleasantries out of the way, let's get into talking all things movies, folks. Let's dive straight into our favorite films of 2020. We're going to start off with Liam.
Oh no, I thought I would go end up being last, so I didn't pick what actually is my favorite film of the year because I thought everyone else was going to fight over it, which is Promising Young Woman. So I wanted to spotlight something else that I really enjoyed, and that is Love and Monsters, that was released on PVOD with that Maze Runner boy. I don't remember his name.
Dylan O'Brien.
That. I thought it was excellent. Don't really have much to say on it. I did really enjoy it though. I just thought it would be nice to spotlight something that I enjoyed that I don't think did that well. Oh, good. Okay.
Liam, I agree with that, and I too will be spotlighting films that were not particularly well received or well known, but that I think were very good. But you shut your filthy mouth. We're going to move on to George. George, what were some of your favorite movies?
So mine probably no one's picked because I have a dreadful taste in film. So one of them was Fantasy Island, which was just good because I just thought it was really different. In the sense that it was one of those films, I think we can all agree that 2020 was a bit of a down year. So to have something that was just easy to put on and watch with friends or family, well, obviously not friends, make sure you social distancing, kids, or Zoom, you know what I mean? But it was something that you could have on that was a little bit just chilled. You didn't have to think about it. So that was one of my favorites. And also The Invisible Man, I really loved as well, just because I thought that Universal ruined their reboot of the Monster Universe with Tom Cruise and the Mummy because they did not cast Rachel Weisz. So the less said about that, the better. But yeah, I think The Invisible Man was another one of my favorites because it was just really about something. And I liked how they had that angle of, you know, how women's concerns are often rendered invisible. So two very different ones. But yeah, they were my favorites of the year.
George a completely respectable list. Personally, I watched Fantasy Island. Didn't hate it as much as everyone else, but I wouldn't say it was one of the best films of the year. But I do respect that choice. Natalia, what about you?
Mine is also The Invisible Man. I've talked about this at length. I love that movie. Um, Again, just to reiterate, I was hella depressed when I went to go see it, and I was slightly less depressed when I left the theater. So that's something. Um, I don't know. It was really good. I really liked it. My other one is obviously Promising Young Woman. I don't know if you're sensing a theme. The theme is white women getting revenge on men, and I find that very sexy. So yeah, thanks.
Also, a very commendable list. So we're going to move on now to obviously the most interesting person here. We have to go to Yousef because Yousef works in TV. So Yousef, what were some of your favorite films?
Thank you. I think I'm the least interesting person here, but thanks for that.
I was only being nice.
I second the motion.
Okay, so like Liam, first of all, I don't like to pick favorites because it like changes every day. You know, it depends on my mood and stuff like that. But I was expecting everybody to pick Promising Young Woman, so I did not pick that. I picked a movie that's very like, it kind of went under the radar and nobody talked about it, and that's King of Staten Island. I thought that movie was just really, really good, really, really well directed. I think Pete Davidson gave an incredible performance. I'm a huge fan of Pete Davidson, as we know. But I just think it was a really well-made film, well-written film, well-acted film that just kind of went under because it was one of the first films to kind of do the universal 17-day thing. We don't know if it did particularly well. It was early in the year, so it just kind of faded away. But we nominated it, and you should vote for Pete Davidson. So
we did nominate it. After we
agree.
nominated it, I watched that film. It was a decent film. And so now we're going to move on to my favorite person on this podcast, Sohail.
That's very nice of you. Thank you. Now, I want to piggyback up what George said, and it was a shit year for movies, I won't lie. Not because of COVID. I mean, put that away for a second. I looked at the slate. Goodness, this is going to be an hour long. I looked at the slate in 2019 at December. I was like, let's see what movies are coming out. I looked at the slate and I was disappointed. Hollywood isn't going to do self-reflection for why the movies this year weren't that great since last year. I know that's debatable, but they have COVID to thank for that. I think, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me because I was quite busy last year rather. I have to say Birds of Prey was quite a good movie for me personally. I quite liked it. I went into this movie thinking I would hate it, but I came out wanting a sequel. And even though I have disagreements with that woman that Yousef had on, Kathy Ann, I think her name is, I have to say I liked it. And before anyone laughs or dies on this podcast, 78% on Rotten Tomatoes like it. So a healthy majority are on my side. Thank you.
Sohail,
The healthy majority are wrong.
Well, here's the thing. It has a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Wonder Woman 1984. So yeah,
Because it's
fuck
better
all
than
you.
Wonder
it's
Woman
you
1984.
say that like it's like a surprise.
Yeah.
That's
That's like saying an ant tastes
other.
better than shit. Like that's not saying much. So
Yeah. No, Birds of Prey. I agree. I think Yes, I do. It's one of the 15 films I'll be talking about. So, Yousef, what do you have next?
Hold on, so my dad is yelling. I don't know if you can hear him. Okay, I think he's done. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Joseph, we can give you 2 seconds to get ready if you want. Do you need it? I'm going to take that as a yes and say
yeah,
Antony.
it's a football game. I don't know if you guys football. Nobody watches football.
no.
We need a blooper reel
No.
for this
We
show.
are gay and don't
Also-
do sports.
It's not football. It's a gay version of rugby.
It's a bit like rugby. It's very much rugby. Yeah,
It
how the
is
fuck do you call that
gay
football?
Rugby.
You barely even touch it with your foot. You know,
And you have
oh,
to wear a helmet.
Rugby
We're
with
dumb
pads.
Americans, okay?
The
with an
Brits don't even
Anthony,
wear
it's
they're
your
helmets.
Americans.
turn.
Listen, Liam, they need to preserve whatever brain power they have left if they're Americans. Okay, Antony,
yeah.
what were some of your favorite films? I know you're going to pick the actual legitimate good ones, so they should be good.
Well, I gotta say, I think 2020, to piggyback off of George and Sohail, it definitely was a troubling year, but I think that thanks to a lot of streamers, we were able to get a lot of great independent films to our homes. That being said, an honorable mention for me is Tenet. Really love that movie, and also honorable mention is The Five Bloods and Mank. Those are my 3 honorable mentions. But my top 3 of the year, Nomadland at number 3. Chloe Zhao just brought this beautifully rendered movie to us. It was so like peaceful and so like the non-actors coming in. Frances McDormand just gives one of her best performances. The cinematography is amazing. It's a truly nuanced, beautiful film. My number 2 of the year is Sound of Metal. This movie, just what they did with the sound design was just so incredible. It's the way that the director, who this was a featured directorial debut, made you feel and hear the world as our main character did, was just truly amazing. It has so many great performances from Riz Ahmed to Olivia Cooke to Paul Raci. Truly, truly great. But my favorite movie of the year is the movie I saw this morning, Promising Young Woman. This is just amazing. We've all been sleeping on Carey Mulligan, and I'm so glad that she's getting a spotlight for this movie.
No, we have not. Continue.
Excuse me. You were, Antony. Antony, you were. Okay, none of us were.
She has only been nominated for an Oscar once, and it was over a decade ago. I think as a movie-going public, we have not been giving her, like, she should be at the top of like people's lists.
Mulholland
Like,
Drive, right? I believe it was for Mulholland Drive.
No, it was for An Education in 2009, I think.
Oh.
But so it's been a while. Like she's not like at the top of the list like Margot Robbie, who produced this, which she did a great job producing this film. She's not at the top of the list of other actresses, and I hope this gets her into more of a well-known conversation, because she's fantastic in this movie. I love Emerald Fennell's direction and writing. The fact that she took this on as a directorial debut was amazing. Bo Burnham, Alison Brie, an entire great ensemble cast. Alfred Molina is great. And I just think what this movie tries to say, and I think pulls off, it doesn't cheat. It doesn't try to make any, like, it's very authentic and honest and vulnerable. And it's also one of the most entertaining and hilarious movies of the year. I think that this is a movie that 20 years from now we'll still be talking about. I think that costume is going to become an iconic Halloween costume that she wears at the end. So yeah, Promising Young Woman. I know my fellow counselors agree. It's truly a highlight of 2020.
Can we just
Antony,
ask a question?
Go ahead, Liam.
On Yousef, who do you think Carey Mulligan is? If you think she was in Mulholland Drive?
Yeah, I got confused. My bad. That was my
okay.
bad.
Good, because I was
Naomi Watts.
He was probably like 5 when Mulholland Drive came out.
Welcome to All White Women Look the Same.
It's like that Margot Robbie meme, isn't it?
Well, I just have to say to Antony, like last night I even said this, Carey Mulligan, her performance is the most iconic female performance since Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. I think she will go down in history. It is that good. So earlier when I said, oh, I have 15 films, yeah, I literally have 15 films, so I'm going to go through this really quickly.
Hey, Yousef, do you have your list?
I'm one.
Okay.
Oh, we'll go with Yousef first, and then I'll go last. So go ahead, Yousef.
Okay, so it's halftime now, thank God. So my favorite film, we reviewed it I think 3 weeks ago. It's the Disney Pixar's Soul. I'm a big Pixar fan, and this is one of their best films, in my opinion. For some reason, this one didn't get a lot of love from you guys. I think some of them were critical, but I think it was mostly positive from what I think. I think me and Yousef were the only ones that generally loved the film. It's got great animation, great voice acting, powerful message, in my opinion. What else I love? I think if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it if you don't have Disney Plus, especially if you have Disney Plus.
So I'll have to say, like, I do agree. I mean, like, it wasn't. I actually liked the film, so I'm just wanting to say that before anyone has a wrong idea of what I said 2 weeks ago, whatever. But yeah, Joseph's right. It's a great film to have, and it's on my honorary list as well.
I agree. Soul, very good film. I don't have it in my 15, but it is a very good movie. And I think it has a genuine, strong chance at some categories in this year's Academy Awards. So, as I said earlier, when I said I have 15 movies, I genuinely have 15 movies. So I'm going to get to them really quickly. So these are in no particular order. So I have Onward, which I like more than Soul. I thought it was better, but that's just my opinion. Really loved Onward. It took me a while to actually see the film, but once I did, I loved it. Birds of Prey, really solid action crime film. I agree with Sohail. Freaking awesome. I love the movie. I don't care what anyone says. It makes me happy. The Gentleman was another film that I just freaking loved. It was just balls to the walls crazy, and I loved every single second of it. Sound of Metal is a film that not enough people have seen, and it is a shoe-in to win Sound. This like all the awards. If it does not win the Academy, no. And then next we have Eurovision Song Contest, which is a very good Netflix film that you all should watch. Happiest Season, a film that I really enjoyed. I don't care, Yousef, fuck you. You're rolling your eyes. I don't care. It's such a good movie. I had a great time with that film. Next up is it's like my baby. It's like I made this film and like I'm looking out for it. It's the Rhythm Section. The Rhythm Section was like one of the few films that I got to see. I saw like before lockdown. Like the only films I saw in January were like Bombshell, 1917, The Rhythm Section. So The Rhythm Section was a film I really loved. Great action sequences in that movie. The Hunt, Betty Gilpin, that screenplay, like mwah, chef's kiss. Host is a 57-minute film shot over Zoom. It's a horror film, absolutely terrifying, very good. The Lodge is one of the creepiest films I've ever seen. It's really good, really great production design and atmosphere. I loved it a lot. Tenet is a very, very good movie that got kind of a lot of hate, but then some love, like weird reception. But overall, I enjoyed Tenet. Palm Springs was a film that got a lot of attention over lockdown. People really seem to enjoy this movie, as they should, and it's looking like it could genuinely get some Golden Globe nominations, which will make me so happy. Kristen Milioti, I'd really love to see her get some love. Now, here's the thing. Promising Young Woman is technically a 2021 film for me, because not only did I see it in 2021, but it releases in my country in 2021. But I'm just going to say that Emerald Fennell, you did a great job. Promising Young Woman. That and Onward were the only films where I don't really make audible noises when I watch movies, but when a certain text message is sent at the end of Promising Young Woman, I screamed my head off. I was so happy. Oh my God, it was so good. But here's the thing, my favorite film of the year, undisputed. It was taken down by The Lodge for a few minutes, but nah, The Way Back is the best film of 2020. Gavin O'Connor, Ben Affleck, everyone did such a great job, and I could not be happier with how The Way Back turned out, and I would love to see Ben Affleck just get 1 or 2 nominations for actor. He deserves it. Anyways, that's my list. Hope you all liked it.
Oh hey, thanks for watching. And remember, full episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts.
With new episodes Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, links in the description box.
And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay caught up to date with The Council.
Boys, I'm excited.